Hey there, Tidbits guy here. Here's a fun tidbit about me. I've probably seen more movies than anybody you know. Another fun tidbit about me is my favorite movie of all time is Rocky, which you learned in the last video I did. So let's do some tidbits about Rocky, shall we? You know, Rocky's about this guy who is aspiring to the passion of his life and is in financial hardship, is down on his luck. He just can't seem to catch a break. An opportunity comes and he goes for it with all of his heart and all of his soul and impresses the world, kind of blows the world away. You know what? That's actually the story of Rocky and of Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone was down on his luck, was homeless for a little while, had to sell his dog, I think, and ultimately just was homeless, sleeping in a bus terminal for like 3 weeks. And then he saw this rather amazing fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Now, this was supposed to be a pretty simple fight. Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer of all time, but Wepner frickin' went the distance. He just had so much heart, and Stallone was inspired, and the story goes, he wrote that movie, that screenplay, in 3 days. Now, he wasn't coming at it cold. Stallone had been working as an actor for a very long time, but he was only getting little bit parts here and there, and they just weren't paying very well. Unfortunately, he wound up doing a couple of erotic films, which is a real shame, but I guess it pays the bills. Boy, you wouldn't want to see me doing one of those, I tell you what. Anyway, Rocky had a $1 million budget, made $275 million. That's a 275% profit, which is extremely unusual, especially in today's market of saturation of choice and so many movies out there, especially since some of them really are very bad. It's not the highest return on investment movie of all time. That's actually Paranormal Activity. You remember that movie? It had a budget of like 25 grand, and it made some unbelievable amount of money, almost 200 million. Anyway, Rocky. So Rocky was a huge hit. Stallone wrote the first one. John Avildsen directed that one, and then Sylvester Stallone wrote and directed 4 out of the 5 sequels. Avildsen came back and he directed Rocky 5. Stallone wrote and directed Rocky Balboa, which came out in 2006 and utterly changed my life. If you haven't seen Rocky Balboa, you really ought to, but you don't have to have seen the previous movies. You kind of get illusions, but it's one of the most magnificent movies. Stallone has been nominated for Oscars and all kinds of other awards for Rocky and for other movies in the series. And there you go. Those are my tidbits on Rocky. I'll have some more later. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.